The true prayer, Jesus explains. When we all were back on shore, the Centurion said, "Lord, now I have abundant proof that you are either the highest God himself or a son of him, for no mortal could have done this." Thereupon all fell on their knees and wanted to worship me. However, I instructed them to rise from the ground and said to them, "Listen, God and I do not need any of this, since the only true prayer consists of the sincerest love for God, the Father in heaven, and equally for your fellow men, who are your neighbours. All other prayers have no value before God, and not before me either. God also never taught the people to honor him with the lips, while keeping their hearts cold. But since Samuel prayed audibly in front of the people, which several of the prophets did as well, and because David sang his psalms, and Solomon his song of praise to God the Lord, the people arrived at an empty prayer of the lips, and to cold sacrifices. However, before God, such prayers and sacrifices are repulsive. Whoever cannot pray within the heart should not pray at all, so as to not behave improperly before God. God did not give feet, hands, eyes, ears, and lips to man so that he may pray vainly and vacuously with them. Only the heart can truly pray. However, man can still pray with his feet, hands, eyes, ears, and lips. Namely, with the feet by going to the poor and bringing them assistance and consolation. With the hands by helping the needy to stand up. With the eyes by lovingly gazing at the poor. With the ears when it pleases him to actively listen to God's word and not hide them from the needs of the poor. And finally with the lips when it pleases him to talk to the poor, the desolate widows and orphans in a comforting manner, and when, to the degree of his might and strength, speaks a mitigating word on behalf of the prisoners to those who often imprison innocent people, so that they may be released. Thus, man also prays with the lips, if he teaches the uneducated the true faith, the correct perception of God, and all kinds of useful virtues. All this is then a prayer most pleasing to God. Since you know this now, act accordingly, and there will never be a lack of blessings from God, for it means, worship God in spirit and truth. It may be written that man should pray uninterruptedly, if he does not want to fall into temptation. But how foolish and utterly clownish would it be if God would insist on an incessant lip prayer from man? In this case, in order to please God, man would have to be on his knees day and night and continually cackle empty, heartless, and pointless lip prayers, just like the birds in the air. When would they perform all the necessary tasks at hand? But if you, with your hands, feet, eyes, ears, and lips, are constantly active, and in your hearts always love God and your poor fellow men, you indeed pray truthfully and incessantly to God, who, therefore, will always bless you, and one day in the beyond will give you the most blissful, everlasting life. Have you understood all this? They all say, "Yes, Lord and Master, this is as clear and true as the light of the sun, and we will all act accordingly."